embody that sort of bombacity, theatricality, and numerous other adjectives you could throw at this band. At the very beginning, they seem to be encompassing a form of glam rock that hovers tantalizingly close to being progressive. Progressive, of course, without being sort of too noodly and too intellectual. Numbers like Son and Daughter and Good Time Rock and Roll are quite incendiary numbers in many respects that sit quite comfortably next to that melancholic ache of doing all right. I mean, the band gallop along on this record like the bastard progeny of Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, all sort of merged into one. Number 5 is Day at the Races from 1976, viewed as many to be the kind of the poor relative of Night at the Opera, and I do have some sympathy with that viewpoint. I don't think it's as good. Nevertheless, it explores some interesting tones and atmospheres, from the crunching opening of Tie Your Mother Down, the glorious sort of gospel harmonies of Somebody to Love, of course. And one of my favourite tracks on this album is Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. It's a Noel Coward homage. One critic has described it as a tongue-in-cheek ragtime ditty exuding an almost pre-war sexual frisson. I think what distinguishes this album from its predecessors, in my opinion, is it's less progressive, but it does adhere to more sort of a conventional sort of song structures and form. It's almost as if they sort of steer away from a lot of the bombast we got on the previous record, and I don't mean that as a pejorative in any way. It was absolutely what gloriously defines the previous record, to something perhaps more conventional. I mean, I hate to use that adjective conventional associated with Queen. It just doesn't seem to fit. It just seems so wrong. But nevertheless, it's, it is equally brilliant in many respects. It has some wonderful, wonderful moments on it. I think one critic has said, one critic gave the album a mixed review, writing, "With A Day at the Races, they've deserted art rock entirely. They're silly now, and wondrously shameless." A whole range of emotions are explored on this album, from the explosive opening Tie Your Mother Down to the very melancholic You Take My Breath Away. In terms of mood, it's an album of contrasts, of course, but all great albums are. But for many, they see this album as a disappointing follow-up to Night at the Opera that was, at the time, still resonating across suburbia and Bohemia with equal measure. Number 4 is News of the World from 1977, an album, of course, that boasts cuts like We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You, songs that are very much instrumental in knitting together the very social fabric that surrounds us. However, to reduce this album to just those 2 songs would be doing it a terrible disservice, I think. It's got some wonderful tracks on it, from Sheer Heart Attack, Spread Your Wings, Get Down, Make Love, and, of course, All Dead, All Dead, which is a song very much about the demise of Brian May's Pussy. Nevertheless, there's no doubt about it, the band was certainly firing on all cylinders for this one. For many, News of the World was seen as a kind of a departure from that sonic panache which defined the previous 2 albums. It certainly seems less layered and starker, in my opinion. I don't know if that was a kind of a band responding to the whole punk thing that was going on at the time. Nevertheless, one critic has described it as an explosion in styles, but it's certainly less operatic. The songs on the album certainly seem more conventional, that word again, as the band seem to kind of chant away their sort of progressive demons with the wonderful anthemic We Will Rock You, which has become kind of a manifesto for a generation. You also get that straight for the jugular urgency with Sheer Heart Attack and the grinding